Hello and welcome to another Beehiiv integration guide. In this video, I'm going to show how to connect a segment account to a Beehiiv account so that you can match users that you're tracking across your different web properties with your Beehiiv newsletter. Now, Segment is one of the market's leading customer data platforms, or CDPs. It's a tool that's used to help unify the tech stack and make sure that your data on your customers remains consistent across all of the different tools you may be using. It's a little bit more advanced, but if you're using it, of course, you know the value, and we can just jump right into how to get this integration going. So under Settings, we're going to click Settings and then navigate to Integrations. Of course, once more, this integration is available on our Grow plan and Up. So Grow, Plan, and Scale, because it does use our API. But you're going to create an API connection. You're going to put the name in. I just called it Segment and the Turn, and Segment and Segment and the Turn. And then you're going to get the API key that is generated, and you want to copy and paste that somewhere safe so that you can access it later on in the process. With that, we're going to jump into our Segment account, and we're going to navigate to Connections. And what we can do is, once we have our source, which is typically like a website or an app, what we want to do is go to Add Destination. So what we're going to do here is go to Functions at the very top. And in this process, we would go to Add a New Function. So in this case, we're going to create a destination function and go to Build. So next, you're going to end up on this page with a lot of code. We've gone through and made this a lot simpler, so I have all the code here in a link that I'll have in the bottom of the video. We're just going to copy everything, and we're going to paste that code from this paste bin over into this application here. Now, if you decide to copy and paste it, it's very important that the next steps you follow exactly so that there's no errors. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to and we're going to add a couple settings. The first one is going to be called API key. And so you can see that there's no space and the second word gets capitalized. So this is going to be the API key from the account that we just created. And so you can keep this here. You can add a little bit of a description, copy, find the API key under Settings, Integrations. We want to make sure it's required because it won't work without the API key, and we want to make sure it's on sensitive so that people know that it is case sensitive. So we're going to add that setting. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to add another setting, and this is going to be called Send Welcome Email. We're going to make this a Boolean, which means true or false. The default is going to be false, but we can say toggle on to send new users a welcome email if your welcome email is activated. The third thing we're going to add is your publication ID. So called publication ID. And you can say find your publication ID under Settings, Publication, in the URL. We're going to make that one sensitive and required as well. So essentially what this is going to do is it's going to, when you have this fully set up, as we will in a second, so let's see if we can go to configure here. We'll call this Beehiiv. We can add our logo here. Just say create function. Oh, it already exists. So let's see, Beehiiv test. Great. That should work. Of course, if I had the logo, the little logo would show up here. But while this loads, the next step is going to be to show you what this is going to look like once it's actually in your account and how you actually configure the settings. So perfect. So now we have this as a destination that's accessible. I'm just going to click on the one that I created before. What we're going to do is connect destination. What that's going to do is bring us to the settings for this connection. So we're going to say connect it to this website. So in this case, just to give some background, this connection is making it so that when a user signs up on the daily meditation newsletter, it's going to then also subscribe them over here to the Turn newsletter, which is a second newsletter. So that's why we're adding this as the source. Next, the destination name, we can call this beehiiv. And we're going to fill in the settings manually so I can show you how those get configured. So once this is there, we're going to have these two fields that we have to fill out. So the first is going to be the API key. This is going to be the code, not the code, but the string, the text that you copied from here. You're going to paste that right here under API key. The second one is going to be the publication ID. That's going to be found if you go to publication. It's going to be this right here. And once you add both of those, you can then decide whether you want to send the welcome email or not. And once all three of those are filled out, you can then turn this on. And so what that's going to do, if I pull this open, you can see I have the API key set, the publication ID set, welcome email turned on. And so this, I named this the turn, but this is now turned on. And so if a user signs up on the daily meditation site, and I have segment deployed on that site, the email is going to be collected and then passed over to this site. So, basically all you would have to do is if you have segment tracking signups or tracking users across other properties and you want to make sure that they're added to your beehiiv newsletter kind of on the fly so that you're not, missing out on kind of passing your data where it needs to go. This is a great solution for, using beehiiv as part of your tech stack enabled by Segment. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was useful. Maybe a little bit more of a niche application, but if you are using Segment, I hope this was valuable. We look forward to seeing what you build. Have a great day.